Hi, in February of this year, 2020, I started an AA induction. I did part A, which gave you an idea of right from the start of the induction, box size and the like, right through until August. This is part B. I'm going to step through a recap of what I did in part A and where we got to in August, and then this will basically be a follow-on from there. Just to give you an idea, you'll notice at the front of the video there's a disclaimer. These are my ideas of how to do it. You know, everyone's got different ideas, but it's similar, the boxes I had, to this AA box here, which is a second induction I'm doing right at the present time. It's going pretty well, but this is part B of the first induction where I transferred it into a log hive, which we'll go into a bit more detail a bit later on. So therein lies where we're up to. Stay with me and we'll see what happens. So this is a quick summation of the box. It's a vertical split box. I've got galvanised sheeting either end and in the base with some plastic coated brood support bars. The blue tape around the outside is just to hold it together until I get the steel straps on either side. I placed a little bit of propolis in the front of the box and also on the inside front of the box, and it'll sit like that with tape around it until I actually secure the screws on the side. I put a couple of wedges also on either side just to hold it in tight framework until I actually put the straps on it. The vertical split box is made out of just pine at this stage. That's the entry hole from the mother hive at the rear, and I place two irrigation fittings in a block of timber with an outlet plug for future, just in case I need to leave it connected so that the bees have a second entry. I can just pull that plug out and they can have that second entry at the back of the box. It just gives them an incentive to maybe put brood in the front box a bit later on. And as you can see, I can just pull the plug out liberally when I want to and place it back in if I need to secure the hole once again. So that's the box, and I've got a honey super with a plastic viewing panel which I sit on the top, and for the purposes of the induction I just put a plain top on it and taped the top down so I could see how the induction was actually going at the time. So that's the final box as it will sit in front of the mother hive. So this was going to be the final resting house for them, or hive for them. It's an imitation log hive. It's top entry, it's got a stainless steel rod holding it together, and it would give them good insulation, and the final resting place was in full sun out of the front of the house. They made their front entry fairly quickly, and this happened in about 2 weeks. So at this stage you can see that they've built plenty of honey pots and pollen pots. So what I decided to do was introduce a spoonful of brood into it, in effect doing a brood lift. And then in a couple of weeks' time I actually decided to do a vertical split to make it, as they call, a hybrid adduction. So eventually it was a vertical split hybrid adduction. So with the marvels of modern technology, this is about 2 weeks on after the split. You can see half the brood in one section and the honey and pollen pots in the second section, or the front section. It's a hybrid adduction and split, vertical split. The hive had a brood lift as part of the adduction. The defence entry was built in 2 weeks. The split was positioned the log hive after 3 months of activity, and the hive was taken off-site for 3 weeks and returned to site. In that week it had no activity in and out. This was a really valuable exercise for me because I learned a lot about how to do an eduction, or let's call it a hybrid eduction with AAs. My ultimate game was to have the hive box inside the imitation hive and have activity that I could still work with down the track. This has proved pretty successful, and as you can see from the videos, the result now in November of 2020 is that I've got bees going in and out of a really good imitation log hive. They're in a split box that I can work with later on and do another split when they become stronger. And as you can see, they're working pretty well and reasonably strong for a hive that was only split a couple of months ago. I learned a lot. I found that they built a lot of stores in the box straight off. That with an eduction for AAs, you have to do, I think, a brood lift to make sure that you have any success. AAs really do their own thing. It's just a matter of sitting back and trying to work with them to get the whole exercise to succeed. I hope this has really given you some insight into an eduction, a hybrid eduction with AAs. If I can answer any questions, by all means leave them on the video, make a comment, and I'll try and answer them if I can with what I've done. I'll leave you with these final videos. I think the best one of all and the most impressive to me is the final one that I'm going to leave you with, which is the ring of guard bees. And they position themselves on the external tube, which is on the front of the box, and I think it's fantastic just to see them operate from the way the hive is in place now.